Good morning, guys. I'm Sam with Scrappy Industries. You remember when we were moving the D8 and we saw the old 8640 John Deere articulated tractor? Well, my uncle just couldn't help himself and he bought it. So we're gonna get the Ford fired up and we're gonna go after that today. This really isn't gonna be too long of a mission. Hopefully I didn't curse us. But I'm gonna try to get some cool like trucking footage here. Let's get the old 3406 fired up. And we are good to go on oil. Good to go on coolant. Caught your boy on a little snow plowing mission. Caught is my uncle, by the way, not my dad. I just bought these little magnets and flags. Things like this tractor with rubber tires. I think they'll be way nicer than a bungee cord for the flags. You guys can ride right there. We do need a few more chains and binders though. Grab them out of the barn. Hopefully everything moves. Not much room, TD25. Well, we stopped just in time. I don't know if Codge can slide us or maybe slide the 35 ton. Not much else I can do. We can move the TD25 if we have to. So our main problem here is I have the tilt cylinder torn apart right now. As we lift this up, this is going to go slack. Got to clean up the tracks here. It'll be all right. Oh, that's perfect. There it is. I love this old tractor. Now we'll get her.
So if you guys remember, back when we were looking at my D8 before we brought it home, we stumbled into this John Deere 8640. Now I knew that my uncle and my grandpa used to have an 8640 and I knew it was in our area and there couldn't be a lot of these things around. So Buddy had confirmed that it was the tractor from our family farm. So after I told my uncle about it, he kind of fell in love with it after going and looking at it, even though it was in such rough condition. I think the sentimental value is really there. He and my grandpa bought this tractor out of Michigan in the mid-'80s, and he had hauled it home with his 359 Peterbilt. Here's a couple pictures of that truck. It had a 3406A cat with a 15-speed behind it. You can see how nice and new this tractor looked. It was really only, I think, 2 or 3 years old at this point in time, which is just crazy to think about buying a tractor of this scale that new in today's world.
Just a beautiful day. I just take up all of the roundabout. You can kind of call it a straight about at that point. Not much else you can do, really. Buddy's not here with this tractor yet. He's got to drive it down the road a little ways. Couldn't get up in there with the truck, so this is where we're going to load it. Dump bags. And we engage our old PTO. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Raise it down, Jimmy. All in all, the weather is relatively not great. We're in the rain, but it's warm. Right now it's like 35, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be a low of -5 Fahrenheit on Tuesday. So I think that's like -20 or more Celsius for the rest of the world. I'll have to look that up. Cold. It is going to be really cold this week. While we're waiting, I'll put the oversized sign on the front, on the back. And that's about all we can do. Maybe we'll grab a sandwich. And just keep these in here. This guy, they just hook on here. I really like this sign. Gino gave me that one. I don't know where it came from. And then on the back, I just run this one with a couple bungees. See, I just run that bungee, hook it around the back side there. It works pretty well. Boy, am I glad to see that Subway. I am starving. We gotta forget Subway. We have a tractor. Get everybody. He says our tripod's in the way. I think it'll be easy just to pull it right on there. Got the smoke screw.
It's gonna be tight.
Yeah, man. They're not my tires. There's not much steering to do.
No, after the front tire's dead, dude, you're good.
I can tell you one thing, it's not sliding off there. It looks a little bigger on the trailer. I just kept thinking this thing looks so tiny sitting there on the ground. I mean, compared to any modern four-wheel drive, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Well, buddy, you gonna have tears? You see it go down the road?
No, not really.
Not really. Did you spend much time in this thing?
Me and my one cousin.
Yeah.
And my dad, we're the only ones that run it.
I hope Codge fixes it up nice.
Yeah.
He probably will. He got me all lined up for this, and then, you know, he's like, oh yeah, I wasn't gonna go. Have fun.
He still never called me back.
Oh.
I called him for it. That's why I called you.
It's easier to text.
Yeah.
Well, he may or may not text you back either. He's like an old timer, you know?
That's me. I'm not Okay, you want to go to Deere or are you going back and forth?
I'll just hook right here on the frame with a big hook binder. That one should be for the front.
Okay.
Yeah, in that chain. That's right there.
Pretty. That work? Yeah, no,
Cut all that metal out of there, Sam?
Yeah, this is going in the shop next, this whole trailer.
It is. Well, I want to tell you something. We used to have an old Brock that was 35 ton
Yeah.
tandem that back in like 1970, with that and our one tractor, it was too long. It wasn't allowed on a road.
Oh.
But then all the length laws changed.
Uh-huh.
So we had to cut 2 foot out of it.
Okay.
And made it an 18-foot deck instead of a 20-foot deck. We cut it out, and then somebody from West Virginia bought it. Said, "Oh, I wish the deck was longer." My dad says, "I got the other pieces."
They welded back in?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. What are you taking back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
The old Fastenal package. Oh man, probably like a whole snap-on toolkit.
There's probably just stuff in there for the.
How about that hose clamp? We got the thing that goes in the fuel tank.
Don't worry about it.
A nice hitch pin. Oh yeah, we're ready to go chisel pound. Got the blinky blinks. Our oversized sign. Our new sweet magnet flags. And we're all chained down and ready to roll. Alrighty, let's get her back down to here and hit the road, Jack. We're taking the easy way compared to how we hauled the D8. And that's because we're a lot lighter, so we can run over a bridge they wouldn't let us over with the D8. So it makes things a lot easier. have to wait our turn to get across here. So this is the bridge here, where you can't be real heavy. No. They won't permit us a D8 through here because of it. Someday though, they'll redo this bridge, which will mess us up pretty good for a little while. So the fun thing about running a permit in Pennsylvania is you have to have a jake brake on the truck, and basically it overrides anyone telling you you can't run a jake brake when you have a permit. There ain't nothing like a Caterpillar engine. Waking up the dead people. That's what Grandpa's always used to say, and now he's one of them over there. Steve-a-loob! Oh, the poor truck needs a bath so bad now. I hate winter. I hate it so much. At least we're going to be tearing this trailer apart soon, so I'm not too concerned with it. Let's get her knocked off there. It would take an awful lot to get this tractor to come off of there if park works. As long as park works, I think you're golden. Pull her forward. That like knocky knock, clicky click sound, what is that? Or is that just a panel?
Don't really hear it standing on that side.
Right. It's almost like it's a panel. Does sound good. Ooh. Something blew. Something just blew up in all those lines. Yeah. It was like coming from like in the cab, like I don't know if it's steering, what would that be? Hey, at least it's off the trailer. Like we made it over 50 feet without the first problem. How big of a deal is it to fix the 2-speed? Where do you split it? Is it this big?
It's like on the back of the clutch housing.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a lot easier than a 2-wheel drive.
Oh, yeah?
Because you don't have to split it. You have to take off the bearing for the drive shaft.
Oh, okay.
If it's a perma clutch, you got to take the engine out to split it.
Well, it is a perma clutch.
That 619 is pretty big. Like how long that engine is. That looks sweet in the 4955. Little frame extension, maybe? It's number 8 from the Michigan tractors.
Yep.
Oh, the seat's nice. It's actually better in here than I expected it to be. Like the dash and everything's more together than the 4630 was when we got it. The original John Deere radio, look at that. The old presets. That's cool. You can buy all these parts. They're all just regular Soundguard parts. There's nothing special about that. I didn't realize it has 3 remotes. I didn't realize this is a 1-lever quad range. Now I've never, well, I guess one time years ago, driven a 4440 with a quad range. Normally they have 2 levers. I guess you put it in A, B, or C, D there, and then you come over here and select your gear. But these are like a power shift. When you go first to second, third to fourth, you just move it left and right. It's a power shift. I'm not sure which side works, but only one side works, high or low. That's what needs fixed on the 2-speed. It's funny being in a Soundguard without the fender wells though, like you'd have on a row crop tractor. Oh, it's got a foot throttle, that's cool. I like the foot throttle package. That's pretty convenient.
What?
The foot throttle. Know what that red pedal is?
They are.
Oh yeah. That'd be nice when you're grain carting. Like, I'm pretty impressed how big those castings are and everything. Like, it's pretty stout. Okay, Dodge. Yeah.
Too heavy.
Well, since it was leaking, we're just going to try to make a run for it. Get it in the barn, be worked on. Give her! You're good. She's a big girl. And she's home. Under the same roof she was under, what, 30 years ago, 35 years ago?
91. Thinks it looked a little different after 35 years since it was in this barn.
Yeah, when did it leave? 91? 1990. Man, older than me.
91.
90, he says.
It's a nice low one.
Oh yeah, that, the old brakes. Ain't got no brakes. At least you can drive it around without concern.
Yeah, I don't recall. How often would you use the brakes? Probably on the road.
Well, when the 2-speed goes out and you go into freewheel mode coming down the hill, you might want them. I can't believe in the service parts they won't machine that stuff.
Well, you can buy a reman one from Deere.
Oh,
$9,000
$9 grand.
for just the 2-speed. I mean,
Hey,
Or Abilene machine for 3.
oh yeah.
well, after the core, it's only 23 or 24.
Yeah, so I'd do that. It probably has a warranty of some kind.
Yeah.
When are you going to tear into it?
Well, the plans are, the 2-speed's number 1, of course. Do the cab kit, get the air conditioning working.
Step 1, of course. You know, I bet if you change these control cables out, they would make shifting way better. Because I changed them on the 4630 on the power shift, and it helped a ton. Just throw all that away. And
That's what people said, don't even try it. Like,
Yeah.
There's some guy on YouTube that was messing with the same thing. He took it out, like threw it in a bucket of diesel for a week and did all kinds of things.
They're not that expensive, I didn't think, at least for the row crops. Yeah, I'm impressed, like the size of the casting here and everything, it's beefy. So what all changed from the 30 to the 40 series?
30 series didn't have a diff lock.
Oh, this does.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know guys. Not a lot. Mainly the diff lock.
So they're both 619, right? They just updated the 619?
I don't recall ever using the diff lock. Well, we had that 32-foot disc, but it still didn't work it.
So that's the big 1,000 shaft.
Yeah. 3
remotes. You gonna keep the quick hitch on, or you gonna take that off?
Probably leave it on.
It goes up nice and high.
It must lift pretty stout, but the extra, is that optional to have the hydraulic? Like, is that the heavy lift package on the rock shaft?
Well,
Or do they all
it's
have,
optional.
or do they all have that?
No.
Unlike
The regular tractors.
like the 49 has 1. Does this have 2?
This has 2, yeah.
Yeah, it's like an option. Well, some have 1, some have 2.
Because you have the big cylinder up here turning on the rock shaft, and then those ones are just kind of helping it to be like a heavy lift package.
Mm-hmm.
Like the axles really don't look much different
They're
than.
probably the same as a 40.
Yeah, I would say like
630 or something.
Yeah, say 4630, 4840, whatever of the era. Like this whole transmission, like back here, doesn't look terribly different, really.
Yeah, there might be some common.
All right, guys. Well, we got the 8640 back to our old home. Codge and Scott are pretty happy with it. It looks like a hydraulic leak wasn't any huge deal. That was just when you push the brakes in. So that's why coming in the barn, no problem at all. We were only leaking because Scott happened to put his foot on the brake. So I want to address that if you want working brakes, but no big deal. All in all, it was a quick little easy move. Got her home. The truck and trailer are just covered in cinders now. So gonna have to get the pressure washer out, give them a bath here at some point. The trailer's coming in to be torn down here in the next few weeks, so I'm not super concerned about it, but the poor Ford, it needs washed. Otherwise, everything went well. Hope you guys enjoyed a little trucking mission. I know this video wasn't super involved, probably on the shorter side compared to most, but hey, something different. I'm Sam with Scrappy Industries. Thanks for watching.